Namaste, lovely souls, and welcome back to Artist at Living. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to struggle with their thoughts and emotions more than others? Why do certain habits weaken our minds and make life feel heavier? Having a strong mind is very important for doing well in life. It's like a hidden strength that helps you keep going, even when things get hard. Mental strength is what helps you solve problems, stick to your goals, and face challenges with determination, especially when skills alone aren't enough. This video will talk about key ideas from Buddhism and how they relate to 10 habits that can weaken your mind. By learning and using these teachings, we can start a journey to make our minds stronger and better at handling tough times. Habit number 1. Having a negative mindset. A negative mindset is like a heavy cloud blocking the bright sun of our inner happiness. This habit weakens our mind because it makes everything in life feel gloomy and hopeless. When we constantly focus on what's bad, we miss out on the good things happening around us. It's like wearing dark glasses. Everything looks dim, even the beautiful moments. If we keep thinking negatively, we may start believing that everything is bad and that success and happiness are out of reach. This way of thinking can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, influencing what we do and the choices we make. We might even avoid taking risks or trying new things because we've convinced ourselves we'll fail. To overcome a negative mindset, we can turn to Buddhism. One key idea is mindfulness, which means paying attention to our thoughts without judging them. Instead of letting negative thoughts take control, we can notice them and then choose to focus on positive things. It's like clearing away the clouds to let the sun shine through. Buddhism also teaches metta, or loving-kindness meditation, where we send warm and positive thoughts to ourselves and others. Practicing metta regularly can help shift our mindset from negativity to kindness and positivity. Another concept in Buddhism is impermanence, which reminds us that everything changes. The tough times will pass, just like the good ones. By remembering this, we can face challenges with a stronger and more resilient mind, knowing that hard times aren't permanent. Embracing these Buddhist teachings can help us break free from negativity and develop a positive, resilient mind. Habit number 2. Complaining about things outside your control. Complaining about things we can't control is like holding onto hot coal. It only harms us. This habit weakens our minds because it focuses on what's wrong instead of finding solutions. It's like getting stuck in quicksand. The more we complain, the deeper we sink into negativity. Buddhism offers insights into why this habit makes us mentally weak and how to break free from it. When we complain, we often forget about impermanence, a big idea in Buddhism. Impermanence means that everything is always changing. Complaining makes us believe that things will never get better, trapping us in a cycle of unhappiness. Instead of seeing challenges as temporary, we start viewing them as permanent problems. To break the habit of complaining, we can practice acceptance, which means understanding that life has ups and downs and that we can't control everything. Acceptance is like learning to dance in the rain instead of complaining about the storm. By accepting what we can't change, we free ourselves from the weight of constant complaints. Buddhism also encourages focusing on things we can control. It's like steering a boat in a storm. While we can't change the weather, we can still guide our boat. By acting on things within our control, we move from passive complaining to active problem solving. Another helpful Buddhist practice is letting go, which feels like releasing a balloon. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means loosening our tight grip on complaints to create space for positive change. By bringing these Buddhist principles into our lives, we learn to face challenges with a balanced mind, accept the impermanence of situations, and focus on areas where we can make a difference. This way, We free ourselves from complaints and build mental strength that helps us move forward, even in difficult times. Habit number 3. Not expressing yourself. Not expressing yourself is like having a treasure chest, but keeping it locked away. This habit weakens our minds because it stops us from sharing our thoughts, feelings, and ideas with the world. It's like trying to walk through a dark room without turning on the light. It makes things confusing and overwhelming. Buddhist teachings help us understand why this habit makes us mentally weak and how to overcome it. In Buddhism, expressing oneself honestly is essential for mental well-being. Holding back our thoughts and emotions is like shaking a bottle of soda without opening it. Eventually, the pressure builds up and can lead to stress, anxiety, or feeling overwhelmed. The Buddhist practice of right speech encourages us to communicate with honesty, kindness, and mindfulness. It's like planting seeds of positivity. When we speak thoughtfully, our words grow into a garden of understanding and connection. By aligning our words with these principles, we build bridges between ourselves and others, creating real, trusting relationships. To overcome the habit of not expressing ourselves, mindfulness can be a powerful tool. Mindfulness is like a mirror. It helps us see our thoughts and recognize our feelings clearly. By being present in the moment, we can observe our thoughts without judgment and express ourselves with clarity and kindness. Expression isn't only about words. It includes non-verbal cues like body language and gestures. These silent expressions are like a secret language, showing our feelings and thoughts even without speaking. By becoming aware of our non-verbal communication, we enhance our ability to express ourselves genuinely. Through these Buddhist teachings, we learn that expressing ourselves honestly is freeing and contributes to the well-being of those around us. It's like opening a window to let fresh air in. Expressing ourselves brings light and connection into our mental space. Breaking free from the habit of holding back starts us on a journey toward authenticity, helping us build a resilient and empowered mind. Habit number 4, blaming others for your problems. Blaming others for our problems is like running a race with a backpack full of rocks. It weighs us down and slows us. This habit weakens our minds because it takes away our power, as if we're giving someone else control over our life instead of steering it ourselves. Buddhism helps us understand why this habit makes us mentally weak and how to break free from the cycle of blame. In Buddhism, the idea of karma teaches that our actions have consequences. Blaming others ignores this truth. It's like pretending we don't play a part in shaping our own lives. When we blame, we act more like spectators than active participants on our journey. Taking responsibility is about understanding that we have the power to shape our experiences. It's like being the captain of our ship. We might face storms, but we can steer our way through them. Blaming others is like saying we have no control, but in reality, we do. By accepting that our actions matter, we empower ourselves to make positive choices. To break the habit of blaming, forgiveness is crucial. Forgiveness doesn't mean saying that what others did is okay. It's about freeing ourselves from carrying resentment. It's like setting down a heavy backpack. We feel lighter and freer. Forgiving others and ourselves is a powerful step in taking back our personal responsibility. Mindfulness, a key Buddhist practice, helps us become aware of our thoughts and actions. It's like shining a light on a dark path, showing us where we're going. By being mindful, we can catch ourselves when we feel the urge to blame and choose a more empowering response. Shifting from blame to responsibility is like replacing the rocks in our backpack with wings that help us soar. Using these Buddhist teachings, we learn to take charge of our journey. Breaking free from blame isn't just about holding others accountable, it's about recognizing our own power and responsibility to build a positive and resilient mindset. When we let go of blame and embrace responsibility, we set off on a path to mental strength and self-empowerment. Habit number 5. Fantasizing. Instead of visualizing. Fantasizing instead of visualizing is like building castles in the air. They may look beautiful, but they lack a solid foundation. This habit weakens our minds because it pulls us away from the reality of the present moment, like chasing mirages in a desert that we may never reach. Buddhism offers insights on why this habit can weaken us and how to move from fantasy to visualization for a more positive and grounded mindset. Fantasies often involve unrealistic ideas and wishful thinking. It's like expecting to find a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow, a nice idea, but not realistic. When we get lost in fantasies, it's like daydreaming while missing the beauty of the present. This habit weakens us because it leads to disappointment when reality doesn't match our imagined scenarios. Visualization, on the other hand, involves creating mental images of achievable goals. It's like having a treasure map that guides us toward our dreams. Buddhism emphasizes right intention and right action, which align with visualizing positive outcomes and taking real steps to achieve them. By grounding our dreams in reality, we bring them closer to achievable goals. The Buddhist teaching of impermanence reminds us that change is constant. Fantasies often involve clinging to a fixed idea of the future, while visualization adapts to life's changes. It's like riding a wave instead of holding on to the shore. By understanding that everything changes, we develop a flexible and resilient mindset. To break the habit of fantasizing, mindfulness is a helpful tool. Mindfulness is like putting on glasses that let us see the present clearly. We become aware of our thoughts and gently guide them toward positive, realistic goals. Mindfulness helps us appreciate the beauty of now while actively working toward our dreams. By using these Buddhist teachings, we learn to shift from fantasy to visualization, creating a more positive and grounded mindset. Embracing impermanence, right intention, and mindfulness, we let go of castles in the air and focus on achievable goals. Visualization becomes a powerful ally, helping us create positive realities and navigate life's journey with purpose and resilience. Habit number 6. Not making time for personal relationships. Neglecting personal relationships is like having a garden but forgetting to water the plants. Over time, everything withers. This habit weakens our minds because humans are social beings and meaningful connections bring us joy and support. It's like trying to sail a boat without wind. We might move, but the journey is slow and lonely. Buddhism teaches us why this habit makes us mentally weak and how we can build stronger connections by investing our time. When we neglect personal connections, it's like closing the door to a warm, welcoming home. We miss out on the comfort and support relationships provide. Not making time for loved ones is like letting weeds grow in a garden. Misunderstandings and distance creep in. Without the nourishment of love and companionship, we may feel isolated and mentally drained. Like tending a garden, building and maintaining relationships requires time and effort. To break the habit of neglecting personal relationships, we can start by being present. Presence is like sunlight for relationships, helping them thrive. Spending quality time with loved ones is like regularly watering plants. It nurtures and strengthens our bonds. Communication is also vital. It's like the wind that fills the sails of a boat, propelling it forward. Listening to and sharing our thoughts and feelings is like watering the garden of relationships, keeping them vibrant and alive. By being open and communicative, we foster understanding and deepen our connections. Buddhism encourages us to recognize the impermanence of life, including our time with loved ones. It's like savoring a delicious meal. We appreciate it more, knowing it won't last forever. By understanding that time is fleeting, we become more motivated to prioritize relationships and give our time to those we care about. Using these teachings, we remember that personal relationships are like threads weaving the fabric of our well-being. By making time for loved ones, we cultivate a support system that strengthens our minds and enriches our lives. Breaking free from the habit of neglecting personal relationships allows us to journey through life with companions by our side, making the path more joyful and fulfilling. Habit number 7, letting your emotions rule you. Letting emotions rule us is like being swept away by a strong river current. We lose control and direction. This habit weakens our minds because unmanaged emotions can become overwhelming and lead us off course. It's like being in a storm without a compass, getting lost in the turbulence. Buddhism teaches us why this habit makes us mentally weak and how we can develop emotional intelligence to navigate the flow of our feelings. In Buddhism, mindfulness is a powerful practice that encourages us to observe our emotions without getting carried away. It's like standing on the riverbank and watching the water flow, allowing us to witness our emotions without being pulled under. When we let our emotions rule us, it's like being caught in a storm without an anchor. We get tossed around, making it hard to find our way. Emotional intelligence involves recognizing, understanding, and managing our emotions, as well as empathizing with others. It's like having a compass in the storm, guiding us through challenges and helping us stay on course. When emotions take control, it's as if we hand over the steering wheel to a force that could lead us astray. To break the habit of letting emotions rule us, mindfulness is a valuable ally. Mindfulness is like a sturdy boat that helps us stay afloat and navigate the waves without capsizing. By being present in the moment and observing our emotions with curiosity and without judgment, we gain the ability to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Buddhism also encourages cultivating a balanced mind through practices like loving-kindness meditation, which is like planting seeds of compassion in our hearts. These seeds grow into a garden that allows us to respond to emotions with kindness, both towards ourselves and others. By embracing emotional intelligence, we gain a skill set that empowers us to understand, navigate, and learn from our emotions. Using these teachings, we can break free from the habit of letting emotions rule us. Instead of being at the mercy of emotional storms, we become captains of our emotional ships, steering with mindfulness and compassion. With emotional intelligence, we sail through the sea of feelings with resilience, maintaining a steady course toward mental strength and well-being. Habit number 8, trying to control everything. Trying to control everything is like juggling too many balls. It's exhausting, and eventually we're bound to drop them. This habit weakens our minds because it often leads to frustration and disappointment. It's like trying to catch the wind, impossible and frustrating. Buddhism guides us to understand why this habit makes us mentally weak and how we can find strength by learning to let go. In Buddhism, the concept of non-attachment teaches us to release the illusion of control. It's like realizing we can't hold on to the clouds. They're always changing and shifting. When we try to control everything, it's like attempting to hold water in our hands. It slips through our fingers, leaving us feeling helpless. Surrendering control doesn't mean giving up. Instead, it means understanding the limits of our influence. It's like planting seeds in a garden. We can nurture them, but we can't control the weather. The weather might bring rain or shine, but our role is to tend to the garden with care. When we accept that some things are beyond our control, we free ourselves from constant struggle, much like releasing a tightly clenched fist. To overcome the habit of trying to control everything, mindfulness becomes our ally. Mindfulness is like a steady anchor that keeps us grounded in the present moment. By focusing on what we can influence and letting go of the rest, we navigate uncertainty with grace and resilience. Buddhism encourages us to embrace the paradox that surrendering control leads to true empowerment. It's like realizing that by loosening our grip, we gain the strength to face life's challenges. When we let go of the need to control, it's like opening our hands to receive what life has to offer instead of clinging to our expectations. Incorporating these teachings into our lives helps us release the burden of trying to control everything. By surrendering the illusion of control, we paradoxically find empowerment. It's like a sail catching the wind, propelling us forward with a sense of freedom. By breaking free from the habit of micromanaging every part of life, we discover the strength that comes from embracing the ebb and flow of existence. Habit number 9. Dwelling on the past. Dwelling on the past is like carrying a heavy backpack filled with old belongings. It slows us down, making our journey harder. This habit weakens our minds by keeping us stuck in what's already happened, stopping us from fully enjoying the present or looking forward to the future. It's like trying to drive a car while constantly looking in the rearview mirror. We're likely to miss what's ahead. Buddhism offers insights into why dwelling on the past weakens us mentally and guides us on how to break free from this cycle. In Buddhism, the practice of mindfulness teaches us to be present in the here and now. It's like opening a window to let fresh air in, clearing out the stuffiness of being caught in the past. When we dwell on what's behind us, it's like walking backward. We risk stumbling and losing our way. By letting go of the past, we create space for new experiences and opportunities. Dwelling on the past also keeps us tied to old wounds and grievances, like leaving a bandage on a healed wound. This prevents us from fully embracing life. Buddhism encourages us to practice forgiveness, not just for others, but also for ourselves. Forgiveness is like opening a door to release the past, allowing us to step into the present unburdened. The teachings of impermanence in Buddhism remind us that everything changes. It's like watching a river flow. The water is never the same. When we cling to the past, it's as if we're trying to freeze the river, making it stagnant and lifeless. By recognizing that everything is temporary, we free ourselves from the chains that tie us to past experiences. To overcome the habit of dwelling on the past, self-compassion is essential. It's like offering a kind word to a friend in need. We deserve the same kindness. By treating ourselves with compassion and understanding, we shift our relationship with the past, from viewing it as a jailer to seeing it as a teacher. The past can then guide us rather than imprison us. Incorporating these teachings into our lives helps us let go of the chains that bind us to the past. By embracing mindfulness, forgiveness, and self-compassion, we create a path to liberation. Breaking free from the habit of dwelling on the past allows us to step into the present with lightness and openness, ready to embrace the unfolding moments of our lives. Habit number 10. Worrying about what others say and do. Worrying about what others say and do is like carrying a backpack full of other people's thoughts. It burdens us and prevents us from being our true selves. This habit weakens us because it ties our self-worth to external opinions, like trying to sail a boat that's tossed around by every passing wave. Buddhism offers insights into why this habit makes us mentally weak and how we can free ourselves from the chains of constant judgment. In Buddhism, the practice of equanimity encourages us to stay balanced amidst the changing tides of praise and criticism. It's like standing on solid ground while the winds of opinions blow. We remain steady. When we worry too much about what others say, it's like building our house on shaky ground. It becomes vulnerable to every passing storm. By cultivating equanimity, We develop resilience in the face of external judgments. Judging ourselves based on others' opinions is like letting someone else hold the mirror. We see ourselves through their eyes, not our own. Buddhism teaches the importance of self-acceptance and authenticity. It's like wearing our favorite clothes rather than trying to fit into someone else's wardrobe. By embracing who we truly are, we express ourselves genuinely. Letting go of the need for approval frees us from the limitations of others' expectations. Mindfulness, a central theme in Buddhism, helps us become aware of our thoughts and reactions. When we worry about what others say, it's like getting lost in a maze of opinions. Mindfulness acts as a guiding light, helping us find our way back to our true selves. By being present, we can observe these worries without getting entangled in them. To overcome the habit of worrying about others' opinions, self-love becomes a powerful antidote. It's like planting seeds of kindness within ourselves, which grow into a garden of self-acceptance. By recognizing our intrinsic worth and embracing our unique qualities, we create a shield against the arrows of external judgments. Incorporating these teachings into our lives frees us from the mental weakness of constantly worrying about what others say and do. By practicing equanimity, embracing authenticity, and cultivating self-love, we break free from the chains of external opinions. Letting go of constant judgment allows us to steer our lives with inner strength and authenticity. These Buddhist teachings provide a guide to overcoming habits that make us mentally weak. By weaving mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom into our daily lives, we can transcend negative patterns and cultivate lasting mental strength. This journey invites us to integrate Buddhism's profound teachings into the fabric of our lives. May this wisdom illuminate the path to a resilient, empowered mind and inspire a life filled with purpose, compassion, and joy. Thank you for joining me on this journey of inner strength and wisdom with Artist at Living. If you found value here, please take a moment to like, share, and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Your support helps us continue spreading these insights, and together we can bring more peace and inspiration into the world. Namaste.